morning and welcome to Multiply Mornings. My name's Dan. Today we are talking about stuff all over the internet, including space stations around Mars, a sports team buying an esports team, Disney possibly buying Twitter, and so much more. So make sure you stay tuned. Alright, and on to our first story of the day. That's right, Disney is looking to possibly buy Twitter. Now, what sense does this make? Why would Disney want to buy social media network? Well, there's a couple reasons. As you know, Disney owns ABC, they own ESPN, a lot of Disney Channel, obviously, and a lot of other old media. Well, old media is changing quite a bit. It's moving online. Twitter is at a really bargain price right now to where they can swoop in on a massive social media network and possibly begin to make some strides towards the next generation of media. So it makes a lot of sense. Disney's CEO, definitely a strategic individual with the purchase of Pixar just months after he became CEO. What we can see is that Disney is thinking about the long-term game here. Twitter is definitely something that's valuable. I enjoy Twitter. It's definitely a valuable entity. Somebody like Disney with the amount of money, options, and businesses and things that go on Twitter that they do could really do something special. So it's going to be interesting to see if they actually make a bid and what goes from there. But I definitely thought that was pretty cool. And on to our next story. The Philadelphia 76ers. That's the pro basketball, Allen Iverson, the iconic team, right? They have just purchased controlling interest in a couple of esports teams, which really is kind of odd, especially when you begin to think of esports are not really a mainstream, although they are getting there more and more all the time. It's a growing factor around the world. So it's not surprising necessarily these sports teams are kind of trying to hedge their bets and go to the next generation, I suppose. It is odd. Several NBA players, including Jeremy Lin, Shaquille O'Neal, and a few other players have actually purchased into these esports teams. So it's definitely on the rise, but I thought that was a cool, noteworthy thing. I mean, have you ever even watched the esports match? You wonder, like, what is esports? Everything. If you don't know, esports, it's video games. People watching video games, people playing video games for sport and for challenge. It's huge around the world with like League of Legends and Counter-Strike and all these things. So it's huge and growing more and more all the time. Definitely crazy. I mean, ESPN just recently started covering esports on their actual pages, which is crazy. So it's definitely something that's here to stay. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. And on to our next story. Now, there's been so much talk about space travel, like we talked about yesterday with Elon Musk planning to go to Mars. We got SpaceX, all these things, all these grand ideas and things to get out of Earth, basically. And one of the companies that's doing this now is Boeing. Now, Boeing is one of the largest aerospace engineering firms in the world. They build the Boeing 747 and so on and so forth. They're massive, right? Well, they are looking to build a space station. It's a middle point between here and Mars that revolves around the moon. It's cool. It's interesting to see. They're actually looking to do it between 2020 and 2025. So it's not necessarily even that long away. I mean, 2020 is 4 years away. So that's a mind-boggling short portion of time. I was talking to my mom this morning about this even because we were talking about how crazy it is that we're like here. We're at this point like of science fiction and everything else. It's happening right here in front of us. It's mind-blowing, interesting with all this technological revolution that's going on right now. And it's also scary at the same time. What's your thought process with it? I mean, like, Boeing is doing this. They're building this space station, this middle point between Mars. I mean, are you going to make your, in 10, 15 years, are you going to take your summers on Mars for vacation? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Crazy, crazy stuff. I'm intrigued. And on to our final story of the day, guys. The biggest one by far. The political debate, the presidential debate that happened on Monday night. It is taken over. And I tell you, as I watched this thing and I watched what was going on, there's so much like, that's a lie, this is a lie. Who do you even believe in those moments? Hillary saying she's got her fact checkers. Trump says he's got his. Who do we even believe? But I tell you what, I think the largest takeaway from Monday night's debate is one thing. Neither of those individuals need to be president of the United States. Unfortunately, it looks like one of them is going to be. But literally, that's the one thing I can pull from. They both look, especially the first like 15 minutes of that debate, were like little kids throwing dirt at each other. Just like you, and then getting mad and saying like, you did it, no, you did it, no, I didn't do it. It just was so childish. President is supposed to be in the highest office in the land. It is someone supposed to represent us with pride and everything else. And these people are just not that. I know I'm picking the lesser of what I think is two evils. And I'm not ashamed to say I'm going to vote for Trump. I mean, you may disagree, but the fact of the matter is, it's just even that I'm not happy about the decision. It's just a matter of, unfortunately, this is the situation we find ourselves in. It's so crazy to step back and look at this and think to yourself, how do we get here? You know, and I was watching it last night, and I was just like implored by the stupidity of it all. You know, these people, these two childish people up there who are entitled in their own right, and they're just like throwing at each other. It's just like, guys, stop. This is not where we need to be. And unfortunately, there's not an alternative. It's too late in the game, but I just am saddened by it. What are your thoughts? I mean, are you like me? Do you think these people are just nuts? I'm just like, why? How did we get here? And how do we get out of here? You know, where's the eject button? Because I need to go back or something. Because this is insane. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Because I'm just lost it. I'm just like, all right, I'm accepting the fate. Let's just ride the Titanic down, I guess. I don't know. I think we can still do more. We can do better. It's just we've got to get to the basics. Let's move on to the focus, guys. And today we're talking once again about Ezra. It's the last day I finished Ezra today. And the thing that implored me the most was about when Ezra was trying to do right by the temple, to do what God had called them to do. And he looks around and he realizes that all these people, all the priests and the people of Israel have intermarried with other people of different beliefs and all this stuff in other countries. And that's not what Israel is supposed to do. So they're unclean. And so Ezra and the people of Israel have to really take a moment and step back and fix what they've done. Now, let me say why this stuck out to me. In today's world, it doesn't necessarily mean that people intermarry with people of other countries all the time. It's not necessarily that. Today, what it looks like in here and what I saw from this and what I thought about how this relates to us today is that the people of Israel were called to be a holy and just people. That was the church. That was the people of God. And today, we are the people of God as the church. And yet, we have been intermarrying with the world. What I mean to say by that is that we've been allowing the world to creep into us. You know, the situation like a few days ago with the co-founders of Oculus who donated to a conservative source who's not even a conservative, just donated because he didn't like Hillary and had to apologize openly for just making a donation, which is stupid. We've allowed ourselves to say, and then he apologized for doing what was okay. He apologized. The problem with that guy is that he apologized for something that was totally within his rights, totally within his means. He can give it wherever he likes, but this minority said, you, sir, did wrong, and said, no, he didn't. He donated to a political cause. I remember a few years ago with Firefox, the web browser, when their CEO had to resign because he gave to a pro-traditional marriage group. This is ridiculous, that this is the point in our world in which we're in. And then we see the church and people apologize for such actions. There is no need to apologize for having a biblical belief. We see the people of Israel in this moment as they've allowed the world to creep into them and not keep what God has said to be sanctified and holy, as the church has done, and allowing the world to creep into us, into what we do, and seep in and make it less holy, make it not what it's designed. Our churches are more seeker, consumer friendly, not what God desires, because when God says something, it's not always fun. It's not always what we want to hear, what is needed. So what I wanted to take from this and what I thought and what I looked at in my life, I said, we have 110% get away from this foolishness in which we've gotten to, and where we're allowing the world and go back to what God has said. That's what the Israelites had to do, and that's what we need to do. To get off and say, you know what, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, or any other politician or person in this world is not going to fix our problems. God alone is. Bend a knee crying out to God, because the world has come in and we need to push it out. The gates of hell shall not prevail against us is one of the most iconic Bible verses we've ever heard, but most people take that as defensive. It's like, hold the walls, hold the line, don't let them through. But the gates of hell will not prevail against us means we are raiding the gates, breaking them down, breaking it down. And it does not mean it's always going to be popular. It's always going to be fun, but it is what needs to be done. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think about that though, because I think we've allowed so much of the world to come into here that we need to push them back out. You know, we need to be focused on what God has for us today. I know that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm dealing with my own stuff, my own personal things that I need to push the world out of my life. And I'm struggling, but I keep coming back to my God because my God is great. Challenge laid. Let me know what you think down below, guys. Hey, if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe here. Follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, everything like that, guys. Follow us there for all more stuff outside of here. Subscribe to the channel to see more. Like this video. Let us know you enjoyed it. And guys, I'm going to let you go. God bless. See you next time.